Hi, this is Sarah here to give you a general overview of how to work with our Pectin Melt-to-Make kit. When you receive your first case of Pectin Melt-to-Make, you should have the following: a 2-gallon bucket labeled Part A containing the pectin mixture, a small bottle labeled Part B containing a 50% citric acid mixture, and finally, either a bag of sanding sugar or a small bottle of finishing wax, depending on what you selected when ordering. The first step is to determine your batch size and then enter the needed data into the formula calculator. The next step is to preheat your depositor. We like to set our hopper and depositor to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You should also get the rest of your equipment ready at this time, such as your brix meter, whisks, measuring receptacles, and molds. If you're planning on finishing the gummies with sanding sugar, you can give your molds a light spray with a release agent such as MCT oil to help expedite the popping process. If you're planning on finishing your gummies with wax, you may not want to spray your mold since the oil droplets will leave small indentations in your finished gummy that will be visible under the wax. Now you're ready to start cooking. Start with directly weighing Part A into a pan. Shake Part B and weigh that into a small receptacle. Weighing these two parts carefully is important since the correct ratio is key to getting the perfect gel. Before you start heating Part A, you may want to check the brix of the starting material. This is listed on the C of A. By comparing your reading with our reading, you can ensure your meter is correctly calibrated. Heat Part A at a medium to high heat setting until the product reaches a slow boil, stirring occasionally to prevent the mixture from burning. If working with a batch size below 1,000 grams, you may want to consider keeping the mixture covered while heating to prevent too much moisture loss. Once the mixture reaches a brix of 75, add your extracts and stir well with a whisk for 5 minutes. While you stir, continue to heat the mixture and then test your brix. If the brix reading is too low, below 78, continue to cook and test the brix again in a few minutes. Repeat if necessary. If the brix reading is too high, above 79, add 1% water, stir, and then test again. Once the brix is between 78 and 79, add in the acid solution in a slow stream while stirring vigorously. After 15 seconds of stirring, pour the mixture into the depositor. If you're pouring just part of the batch, make sure to keep the mixture temperature above 85 degrees Celsius and keep a lid on the pot between pours to prevent evaporation. If the mixture cools too much or too much water evaporates, the mixture will gel and you won't be able to deposit your product. Once you've deposited all of your gummies, let them sit undisturbed for 1 to 2 hours. After 2 hours, your gummies should be ready to pop. If you plan to leave them for an extended period of time, you may want to cover them with a silicone mat or flip them over on the pan to prevent the tops from drying out. There are 2 ways to coat your gummies. One way is to use a sanding sugar and the other is to use a wax coating. If you're planning on sanding your gummies, fill a bowl with the provided sanding sugar and pop the gummies into the bowl. Gently toss the gummies in sugar and then lay them in a single layer on a tray. If the tops of your gummies are too dry and won't accept the sugar, you can spray the tops of the gummies with a very light layer of water and then spread it evenly around with a gloved hand. If you're planning on waxing your gummies, start by spraying the tops of your filled gummy mold and the inside of a metal bowl with a release agent or MCT oil. This will help prevent your gummies from sticking to one another. Record the weight of the sprayed bowl or tear the bowl so you can get an accurate weight of the popped gummies. Pop the gummies into the bowl, and when you have at least 1 to 2 kilograms, get an accurate weight. Once you have a weight on your popped gummies, add 0.15% of the wax coating to the gummies. We have a calculator you can request if needed. Toss the gummies for 5 minutes with your hand to coat them evenly with a wax, or use a panning machine. Spread the coated gummies onto a tray in a single layer. Let your gummies dry in a drying room set at a 35% relative humidity for 24 hours. Continue to dry the gummies until a desired consistency is reached. If you have the ability to test water activity, your gummies should be in the range of 0.60 to 0.63. If you have any questions or need help troubleshooting, please reach out to us. Your success is our success, and we're here to help you with every step of the process.